Hey guys, it's me again, just coming back at you with another video about something that I'm pretty proud of and wanted to share with you guys. If any of you guys know World War II infantry weapons, you know what's in front of you here. It's a 1903 A4, and any of you guys that know history know that this one isn't correct, and you are right. This is one that I personally built. So it's not a real 1903 A4 from World War II, but it is made from a 1903 A3 that is World War II, with the date stamp of October of 1943. But besides the point, I just wanted to kind of show you guys that you can build one of these guys and enjoy them if you can't afford a real 1903 A4. And for you guys out there that don't know what a 1903 A4 is, it is what the U.S. Army used as a standard sniper rifle in World War II. And it proved itself to be very effective during that time. And it still is today, in my opinion. So the 1903 A4 in World War II was basically a 1903 A3 that had a Weaver 330C scope put on top with the sights knocked off of the gun. So it just had the scope and a Redfield base and scout and mount. Excuse me, a Redfield mount with rings. They were really cool guns. If you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, you know Private Jackson in that movie. He's the guy that uses the 1903 A4. So there's something to look at in that movie. But anyways, back to the gun that's in front of you. I'm really proud of it, guys. It's something that I put together from USGI parts to make a 1903 A4 replica. And it's not 100% correct for you guys out there that know these guns in and out. It's not 100% correct, and I'll go through it and show you that. But the scope on it is not a Weaver 330C scope. Basically, I made this gun to comply with the CMP vintage sniper rifle rules, so I can shoot it in those matches, which is what I want to do. But the scope on it is not a Weaver 330C. It is a Weaver K 2.5 60B scope with the post and crosshair in it. And it's actually a really, really nice scope, guys. It holds at zero real well. It's cool. This one was made in I believe, the early 50s is when this one was made. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys out there probably know more than I do. But this is a Redfield base that's put on there with the patent mark. I believe this is a commercial one. It's not a real World War II one, but it is an older one with the rings. The stock you guys see on it is a new production stock from Numrich. It's a Numrich stock in-hand guard, and all the parts, all the rings and things you see are they are GI parts. I used all GI parts, including the butt plate. And I got all that stuff from Numrich because I couldn't find it anywhere else. And the trigger guard is an original 1903 trigger guard. It's not a 1903 A3. But that being said, let's get back into the rifle. So to build one of these guys, you need to find yourself a sporterized 1903 A3. And I was lucky enough to find a 1903 A3 that had been drilled and tapped for a Redfield mount. And that being said, what that means is there's one drill hole in the sight, the rear sight dovetail, right in the middle. And then there's one drill and tap area at the front of the receiver right here. You'll see a lot of these 1903 A3s that have been drilled and tapped. And there's two drill holes here and possibly one or two in the rear. And you know, if you can get one of those, that's great. You're just going to have to make it fit for one of these Redfield mounts. And I was lucky enough to find one that had this Redfield mount actually attached to it. And what I got was a original Smith Corona receiver with the original barrel attached to it and a sporterized bolt with a Bueller safety. And that being said, it's not an original safety. It's meant for a scope, so you push it up and it makes the gun safe and won't allow the bolt to move any farther than that. And by the way, guys, this gun is safe and clear, as you can see. But that being said, the pieces I bought were from a sporterized gun, so I was lucky enough to get a sporterized bolt as well, where the bolt had been shaved and bent down. And that being said, guys, when you do get something like that and you want to build one of these, one of the things you're going to have to do no matter what is inlet the stock for the bolt handle, as you can see. So the way I made this notch here to allow the bolt to close all the way was I basically got 80 grit sandpaper and I wrapped it in a 12 gauge shotgun cleaning rod. And then what I did was put lipstick on the back of the bolt handle right here. I did not have the trigger guard or any of this assembly in the bottom bolted in. But what I did was I put the action in, put the lipstick here, close the action, or close the bolt onto the stock, and then opened it back up, and I would see where the lipstick hit the stock. Then I would take my sandpaper on my rod and sand away at that area. And do that about 100 times until I got the bolt to close all the way in the stock, which ended up with a notch like this. And then I stained it with dark walnut stain. Is that correct for a World War II A4? Absolutely not. It looks completely different with an A4. It's got a flat area and then kind of like a rounded out area right here. But you know what? There's a sporterized bolt, and I made it work for myself to make this gun work, for the action to work with this stock. But that being said, guys, this is a cheaper way to do it, to build a gun yourself. There is some guys out there that do this, and I know Chuck in Denver's, I think it's Warpath Vintage, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I know he does excellent work. And I've seen some of his products, and they're awesome. And I don't know how much he charges for it, but if you don't want to do something like this, I recommend going to a guy like him. But if you do want to take the time, you're kind of a handyman, and want to, just tinker around with something for a few months to get it to work, this is the way to go, guys. And if you screw something up, you can always send it to a guy like Chuck in Denver, and he'll fix it for you. His products are pretty sweet. I've seen them. But anyways, back to the rifle here. This one total cost me around $700, which is a lot of money. But the Gibbs Rifle Company makes these guns and they sell them for around $1,000, and James River Armory does too. And they're around $1,000. And that's a lot of money. But they don't make them anymore. I haven't been able to find them. All you can find is used stuff on the market from them. So I think they made them out of drill receivers. And what I have here is not a drill receiver. It is a Smith Corona receiver with the original barrel. And I can show you, one thing I didn't mention was the barrel. This is the last thing I have to do to this gun, is get it rebarreled, because to make it CMP legal, vintage sniper match legal, I got to get an original barrel for it. And this one is, as you can see, it's a Smith Corona of 1043. But whoever owned it before had cut the barrel and recrowned it. There should be about that much more barrel on there with the sight key on there. But it was cut and crowned, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I had what I had to make this gun. But it does shoot really well, guys. It took it out today and actually shot it with Greek HXP 1977 ammunition. And it grouped 1.2 inches at 120 yards. which is pretty fantastic. 1.2 inches at 120 yards, so with Greek surplus ammo. So I haven't shot it yet with any ammunition that is match grade, and I'm assuming when I do, I'll be able to get a 1 MOA or less gun. And for a gun that was designed in the 1940s, that's pretty impressive to me, especially with a 2.5 power scope on it. So I just wanted to share this video with you guys, kind of show you how to make one of these, where to get your stuff, and if you want one to build one, just tinker with. They're a lot of fun. The original scopes that came with these, like I said, was a Weaver 330C or an Alaskan, Lyman Alaskan, or the M73B1, which is a 330C. And then I believe a M82 was what they put on them after World War II and the Korean War. But those scopes are pretty expensive. There is some reproductions out there that are around $300+. But the Weaver K 2.5 runs you $100 or less. A lot of people complain about eye relief when you're shooting prone and they get hit scope eye with it. So I bought myself an M82 rubber piece to go over the end here. So you don't get scope eye when you're shooting prone. It just slips on like so. And that way you don't get scope eye. It's kind of a sunshade on the rear too, to stop glare. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you do, like, subscribe to my channel, and shoot me any questions. Please don't leave any comments that are rude or anything like that. I'm not going to respond to them anyways. I'm just trying to show you guys that you can build a 1903 A4 replica sniper rifle for cheaper than what you can buy them for these days. And I listed out somebody that knows how to build them really well as well. So if you don't want to build one, I recommend going to him. But this one is built by me, and I'm proud of it. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So anyways, thanks, and I hope you guys have a good day.